Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear brothers, please hear all these glories of Lord Chaitanya. This verse clearly summarizes his activities and characteristics. So the shlok we are talking here is, Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangas Taparstam Yagya Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumed Saha. Whenever we quote the proof that Lord Chaitanya is the avatar for Kali Yuga, from Bhagavatam, that's what we quote when we are preaching. And we quote some verses, and many times we don't understand what we're actually saying. We just quote it to impress people that I know the shloka and to defeat other person's argument. Sometimes it's nice to sit with these shlokas, not for preaching, but to appreciate what the writer has just said. Preaching to yourself with the shloka is so nice. I've been involved with the movement since 73, and I've seen loads of things happening and whatever, inspirational, not inspirational, whatever. But whenever you pick up Srila Prabhupada's books, it's always an inspiration. I've never ever picked up Prabhupada's book and thought, wow, I was so, and never thinking, wow. Especially when you're down, you pick up a book and you go any page, you're really thinking, it says what you're feeling in here. How do they know? Because this is Granth Raj. Granth means a knot. The material knot we have. Granthi is the one who can break that knot. So this Granth means all the knots of materialism and misconceptions and darkness in you. Granthi destroys it, smashes it. Like a matchstick. Doesn't matter how long a room has been dark for. Doesn't matter. Strike a match and there's light. This is a matchstick or a big light, whatever you want it to be. So in your life, when you feel dark, uninspired, you pick up Srila Prabhupada's books, especially his purports, you'll find he'll talk to you directly. He knows. He's Granthi. He's the one who understood. He's a realized soul. Gyan and Vigyan, two different things. Gyan is information. Vigyan is realized knowledge. A car mechanic doesn't need to look at the manual. He knows the car. The owner of the car needs to look at the manual. Even then, he doesn't know how to fix it. So loads of us have got this manual called Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, but we don't know how to fix our lives. Because we are not realizing, we're not Vigyanis, we are Gyanis. And on top of that, we got internet now and everything. Press of a button, whatever topic, you superficially get to know it in a few seconds to defeat the other person or to make out you know a lot. When you only know a little bit. You have the ocean. You can go on the ocean, 6,000 miles, New York, England, Bharat, wherever you go. Please realize, after years and years of traveling on the ocean, you only know the surface of the water. But in order to know the ocean, all you do is go 1 meter down into the ocean, and you see a new world there. We never go a few inches down into our heart to realize what's there. We're always going out to realize the truth. When Prabhupada said we are sleeping devotees, Srila Prabhupada came to wake us up. Please never think you're ignorant. You only need waking up. That's all. When we are sleeping, we're experiencing so many dreams. We don't know the directions. At night time, you can't say, well, I had a terrible sleep. I didn't have any direction at all. You had nightmares, dreams, and everything. It's out of your control. But it's also part of your process to discharge all the anxieties of that day. At night time, it just materializes in a dream and all that, purify you again for the next day. Otherwise, it will stay in your system and you become a nervous wreck. So many times in your Krishna consciousness, you have nightmare type of situations and sleeping and dreams type of situation where there's no directions or whatever, and you almost think you're not moving forward. And that time you need that inspiration. And that's why the scriptures, they deal with spiritual matter and they hint at materialism. Because materialism is a shadow of the real thing. But we are caught up in the shadows. We believe that to be real. So we become expert in knowing the shapes of the shadows and what shadow does what. But we should actually look at the light, which is light of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is amazing. When Krishna came, he said, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam statham bhajami hum. Mam vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvasha. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So there's a condition there. You know, we are about to love Krishna, and there's a big condition there. That as you approach me, that's how I respond. There's a condition. Now you tell me, we're in Kali Yuga, how are we going to approach Krishna? Full of ignorance and misconceptions. We don't have a clue. So we are dead ducks. We don't know how to approach Krishna. Ye yatha mam prapadyante. But look at Lord Chaitanya's appearance. He says, Patra apatra vichara nahi, nahi sthanastan, yehi janha paya, tanha kare Krishna premadan. He didn't consider anybody qualified or unqualified. He didn't say, Ye yatha mam prapadyante. So please remember, just realize your blessings, that we are talking about an avatar whose weapon, is the Mahamantra, his associates. Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopanga Asta Parshadam. Those Parshads, they come from Golok, and those Parshads are so special that when Lord Brahma, he tried to take away the cowherd boys and the cows, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Krishna said, Brahmaji, you are less than these associates of mine, because they come from Golok, you are from this material universe. He couldn't have touched those cowherd boys and the cows. Amazing. We always think of, cowherd boys, sakhas and everything, they don't matter much. I just want Krishna. But do you realize even Brahma is nothing compared to those Parshads? These Parshads are powerful personalities. They are not confused. They play with Yogamai. Yogamai arranges relationship, with Krishna and the sakhas and the gopis. They are from Golok. Brahmaji is less. So before he could touch those cowherd boys and cowherd girls, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said that Yogamai created a new set of cowherd boys and the calves and everything. So when Brahmaji came to take them away, he didn't touch the Parshads. He took that illusion away and hid it. But Yogamai is so powerful, Balaram didn't know anything about it. Krishna knows everything. But then he expanded again, and Brahmaji, when the creation happened, Brahmaji wanted to know how Vishnu is everywhere. He wanted to see that, how Krishna is everywhere. Sarvyapik. And in that Leela, when he took away the calves and the cowherd boys, the Lord expanded. For a year, Balaram didn't even realize what's happening till he saw some signs which are contradictory, and he realized what's going on. And slowly, Yogamai started to reveal to him, look, Krishna is playing some acting. And why did he do that? Because if Balaram was there in the Leela and Brahmaji had taken those cowherd boys, he would have got annoyed with Brahmaji. And that's why Krishna thought, I won't be able to control him then. So it was his birthday, parents' day, when they went out without him. So Krishna arranges all this kind of arrangements. So Brahmaji realizes his opulence. So when Brahmaji came back, he saw all those cowherd boys and calves were Vishnu. And he's thinking, amazing, yes, he is my boss. Because he thought, what is this child, having chip rice and yogurt in his hand? And he was still there. And then Brahmaji said, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again, all that kind of thing, And Krishna just kept looking at him, and then he apologized. Shri Radha Gokul Nand ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Gaunita ki, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So, as Brahmaji was explaining Lord Krishna's position and everything, Krishna just looked at him. And as Brahmaji didn't get the response, he says, I think I better go back to my loka, and I feel I'm not qualified to even go there. And it is said by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Krishna was looking at him as like, what's he on about? That I'm all those things. Yogamai is so brilliant. Krishna still had this chip rice and some yogurt in his hand, and he was just interested in that, not what Brahma said. When we see that, you realize Parshads are more important than Lord Brahma and Lord Shivji. Amazing. And yet when Krishna comes, when any avatar, Brahmaji and Shivji are connected with the Leela. They come from the material universe, and from the spiritual, the Parshad comes. So when you read this Krishna Varanam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangasta Parshadam, those Parshadam, for a long time, I just took it, you just focus on Lord Chaitanya, the other side just happened to be there, like I am there. I'm also one of the, associates and whatever. Start to think like that eventually. But you should realize each Parshad is from Golok. So we should pay respect to Panch Tattva. And why is ISKCON and Gaudiya Vaishnavism special? Because that's the Yug Dharma, the chanting of the holy name. And that's why in Bharat, the smart Brahmins, the Goswamis, whoever outside Vrindavan, they are really confused how Videshis, foreigners, can come into Bharat and flourish so nicely in Vrindavan, Mayapur, and achieve what they couldn't. I know a couple of Goswamis, they went to America to preach, and they came back and they said to me, you know what, I don't know how Srila Prabhupada did it. I goes, why? He said, I went to all the Hindu temples there to preach. He said, they eat beef, meat, alcohol, and they're trustees and temple presidents. That's Hindu temples like. He said, but when I went to ISKCON temples, even an ordinary guest, he was following the 4 principles. So big round of applause for Srila Prabhupada. Just the 4 principles, never mind realizing Krishna. They don't want to give up their meat and alcohol. And what did Srila Prabhupada do? As Prabhupada once was shaving, he says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what was it? Came to shave us. He meant save us. He goes, yeah, save us and shave us. So Srila Prabhupada was himself impressed at the success in America. And in a week's time, I'm going to America after 30 years. I went alone. I went on a Greyhound trail to go to all the temples. So this time I'm going to Detroit and New York. So we have a CD in Coventry. It's called Krishna Vrindavan. And if you haven't got a copy, why not? Anyway, so it's a 5 years hard work. It's in the shop, and I got some as well. But I'm going to take that because it's glorifying Krishna of Vrindavan. Before, we weren't even sure which Krishna, Dwarkadish, Mathuravan, but Krishna of Vrindavan, the one who's connected to Radharani. One person asked me, what does Radharani like? So obviously the answer is Krishna. She goes, no, she likes Vrindavan. She never leaves Vrindavan. So Vrindavan gives us so much pleasure. Actually, Vrindavan, it is said, is the same as Radharani, because Vrindavan gives pleasure to Krishna. And to get the dust of the lotus feet of Radharani is very, very rare. Nobody can. Once a year we take darshan of Radharani's lotus feet. But even in Vrindavan, and it is said in Radha Ras Sudha Nidhi by Prabodhanand Goswami ji, he said in there that Shivji, Brahmaji and all the others, they come together to discuss the topic of the Lord who they cannot see readily. They come together to discuss about Krishna, but they can't see him readily. It's such a high level topic. And the person who they are discussing is obviously Krishna and all that. Even he is pining for the dust of the lotus feet of Radharani, because that's even more rare. So Shivji and Brahmaji discussing Krishna, who they don't see. Krishna is thinking of the dust of Radharani's feet coming out. How rare it is. And Prabodhanand Goswami ji, he's Prakashanand Goswami, who was defeated by Lord Chaitanya in Kashi. He became Prabodhanand. He wrote the Vrindavan Mahima and Radharani's qualities. And then he said, oh my God, if Krishna finds that very rare, we will never qualify to get the Raj of Radharani's feet. So he got depressed. Then he wrote, okay, Radharani, my prayer is, I don't qualify to get your Raj, but can you give me one blessing? That whenever I go to Vrindavan, there is the Raj of the lotus feet of all the devotees of Radharani and Krishna. And whatever Raj falls from there, can I go to Vrindavan and roll in that thinking, that is enough for me to, love Radha and Krishna. When I heard that, I thought to myself, we go to Vrindavan and straight away we go to the ISKCON temple, then go to Loi Bazaar for the best dhotis and malas and everything. But actually we should actually go for the Vraj Raj because it's so rare. Because Radharani's and Krishna's lotus feet were there, but whose feet were there recently, 500 years ago? Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, Nityananda's lotus feet, 6 Goswami's lotus feet. You go to Radha Madan Mohan temple, the Sanatana Goswami would have constructed that. Rupa Goswami would have constructed those temples. Radha Damodar Mandir. And I used to see loads of people taking the Raj and all. I was thinking, well, it's just a little, but we don't know the Mahima. And that's why this word Mahima has been used. We don't realize Mahima of Lord Chaitanya. The Lord Chaitanya didn't put a condition. Ye yathamam prapadyante. He said, I will give you the love, which is so rare. And we don't realize the person, Senapati abroad, Srila Prabhupada, just a few years ago, he was in this temple. He installed those deities. How fortunate we all are. We don't realize it when we go in and out of this door. Realize, if a diamond is brought by me in a hand, and I showed you saying, hey, this is worth 2 million, would you believe me? No. But if I brought it in a security van, and the diamond is made of glass, is only worth 20 pounds, all the security and everything, all the, ceremonies, and I said, this diamond is worth 2 million, you say, I believe. Because of the packaging. This is the age of packaging. You go to Argus and all that, packaging is this big, the item is this small. So in our lives, in Kali Yuga, that's why Prabhupada said our temples should look beautiful, not for us, because we are interested in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. But others won't come here saying, this guy's got jompri, a little hut. What are we going to do? It's not success. So people measure success with the opulence you have. That's why us devotees, our opulence is Radharani's Raj, Vrindavan Raj. Should aspire for that. But the opulence is for preaching. It's to attract people. And once people will come and realize Maya is Maya, doesn't matter how much it shines, then they'll go for the real thing. As they advertise for the Coke, the real thing. And the real thing for us is Lord Chaitanya. So I've got other verses to read. I'll continue. Krishnai dui varna sadayan ramukhe atva Krishna ke tino varne nija sukhe. The 2 syllables Krishna are always in his mouth, or he constantly describes Krishna with great pleasure. So Krishna, the word is Arna, we say Krishna. So there's one person who's very good at this linguistics. He told me it's Arna, Krishna. So if you say Krishna or even Narayana, it's Narayana. It's very hard for the Westerners to actually say Arna, but the Bharatiya people can say it's Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna is also Draupadi, and that's Krishna. This is Krishna. Now, Krishna Varanam. When I was whenever I do Rath Yatras, and people know it, I say Radhe Radhes. And once I had an incident where somebody decided I shouldn't be doing it. They nearly jumped on me, and I fought them off. Anyway, and later on it went really high up, and then I'm a GBC deputy, so we were in meetings, so this came up, whether we should say Radhe Radhes. And somebody said we shouldn't say Radhe Radhes. And we had a big discussion. So I was on one side, and the rest of the GBC deputy in another corner. For 2 hours, we discussed whether we should say Radhe Radhe or not. And I fought it. And one person goes to me, oh, well, Prabhupada never emphasized Radharani, much. I guess, don't you read Chaitanya Charitamrita? I said, the first canto is glorifying Radharani like anything. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that if somebody worships Lord Krishna but does not worship Radharani, I don't want to be in the area where he is. I don't want to sit and associate with him. So when I read that, I was impressed. Because as a Bharatiya person, we just go for Krishna, Radharani is there, But everybody's attracted towards Krishna, and Krishna is attracted to Radharani. So when I read that, I was thinking, so I got to know about Radharani. But which books do we read for Radharani? In Bhagavatam as well, her name is not mentioned. So then what happened? I really told him, I said, Prabhuji, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radha Krishna emphasized over and over again. And I gave loads and loads of proofs, and they gave me a whole lot of things. So the meeting ended, deadlock, and I went out, and I came down to Radha Madhav and her Sakhis. And I looked at the Sakhis and Radha, and I goes, look, there's none of you there. I was alone in that room. Why did you come for my help? And Krishna just smiles. So I stood there, and then I went out, where the fountain is. I sat, got my mala, because you don't know these meetings, they're not easy. You have issues, you discuss it, and many times you believe one thing, others believe another. You lose it, you come out thinking, it's terrible, what do I do? But you don't think of leaving ISKCON, because don't ever leave ISKCON. Stay inside to make changes. You can't make changes when you're outside. So I just sat there thinking, I love Radharani, I love saying Radhe Radhe. Whenever I do Kirtan, when I go Radhe Radhe, suddenly the energy picks up, So I sat there by the fountain, I'm thinking, Lord Chaitanya, can you help me out? So I just sat there and I'm just chanting. This is at 10 at night, and there were some Bengali families there, and they were looking at the mountain, and they got excited. Look, hey Baba, look at that. I looked, what was it? They saw a fish. And they call it fish. They got excited by the fish. I thought, what? They're in ISKCON, they're getting excited by the fish, because of course they're thinking of tasting it, And I thought, don't you dare take anything out of there. So I was enjoying all that. And suddenly, you wouldn't believe it, I'm sharing this with you. This is how Lord Chaitanya is live and active and here. He said, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopanga Asta Parshtam. I thought, Krishna Varnam. Oh my God. Even Lord Chaitanya, he says Krishna's name. Because it is said in Bhagavatam, Krishna Varnam. But then the next bit, Tvisha Krishna, means his color is opposite to black, which is golden, and which is Bhava of Radharani. So I thought, Krishna, when he'll come in the mood of Radharani, he's not going to say Radhe Radhe, is he? He's going to say Krishna, Krishna. So the two connected. So I thought, okay, Lord Chaitanya, thank you for the answer. So next day I went to the meeting, I said, everybody, I agree with you. I won't say Radhe Radhes. They goes, hey, what made you change your mind? I goes, Krishna Varnam, Tvisha Krishnam. I said, not the answers you gave me, they didn't amount to anything. I said, but Bhagavatam is the boss. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. I said, because in the mood of Radharani, he was calling out for Krishna. I said, if I have to know Krishna, then I must get into the mood of the gopis. Call him like that. And I said, so I'll have to work this one out. I just said that, because there's a story further to that. They all said, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. They thought they resolved it. For 2 years, I didn't say Radhe Radhes. And you know what? I hated it. I thought, I'm letting Radharani down, So something happened in my life which was critical in my life. I went in front of Radha Shamsundar in Vrindavan. So there goes, Radharani, I'm sorry about this little incident which happened. And Radharani speaks in Vrindavan to you. I think many devotees would know. Suddenly she goes, doesn't matter about that thing. And then I said, I'm also sorry, I haven't said your name for 2 years. And she said, I'm concerned about that. I thought, all right, that's it. I picked the phone up, I rang my son, because you know what? I'm going to start saying Radhe Radhes again, because Radha is not happy, because guess what, Dad? That's what I decided today as well. I was singing, I went, Radhe Radhe. So everybody, started to sing Radhe Radhes. And when I did that, I thought, I'm confusing myself now. What about this Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam? Then I realized, hang on a second, I'm not Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How can I have Radharani's mood? So I want to call Radharani to give me blessing, so I would get that mood, and then I would chant the Maha Mantra properly. So I need to call Radharani to say Krishna's name like that. So I was so happy, QED, I've solved that problem. So then I start to say Radhe Radhe. Now what you got to do is remember, if you say Radhe 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 quite a lot, who are you attracting? Krishna. Because he likes it when somebody says Radhe. And if you don't say Krishna, Krishna, then Radharani won't come. And if Krishna did come and Radharani is not there, he'll get bored and go away from you. So you got to say Radharani and Krishna's name together. And within Hare Krishna, Hare is Radharani's energy. So I wanted to share that with you. He always said Krishna. So then somehow Radharani sorted my mind out. So now and then for 5 minutes or so, when we say Radhe Radhe, we do it with the real josh, real energy. And I tell you, everybody feels it. But then Maha Mantra is the one. Iti Shorchkam Nashnam, Kali Kalmsa Nashnam. These 16 words are the ones which will destroy the kalmsha, the contamination of Kali Yuga, the 16 words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These two meanings of the word Krishna, Varna, indeed nothing else but Krishna issues from his mouth. So Krishna is actually saying his own name. If someone tries to describe him as being of blackish complexion, the next adjective, Tvisha Akrishnam, immediately restricts him. His complexion is certainly not blackish. Indeed, his not being blackish indicates that his complexion is yellow. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu, bolo, Gauranga! Gauranga! Nityananda! By performing the sacrifice of congregational chanting of the holy name, learned scholars in the age of Kali worship Lord Krishna. He is now non-blackish because of the great upsurge of feeling of Srimati Radharani. He is only worshipable deity for the Paramhansas who have attained the highest stage of the fourth order, sannyas. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya, show us His great causeless mercy. So we should appeal to the Lord to give His mercy. This ahankar, aham means I, car means BMW or Mercedes. I have Mercedes, I have BMW. That's like you're rating that you have succeeded. Ahankar. So we should destroy the ahankar. You know, Tvamkar means you doing everything. So like Arjun, he was rich. You know, you don't have to be poor to be a devotee. Whatever comes your way, yukta vairagya, you use it in the service of Sri Krishna. So please don't get hung up, oh, I have money, what should I do? Give it away. Oh, I don't have money, what should I do? Whatever you got, you know, you just use it in the service of the Supreme Lord and be happy about it. You know, somebody says, you know, we worry about eating every day. Especially Mataji's, what shall I cook? Especially when you have children, you know, and the husband who is a little awkward, you know, and what shall I cook? What shall I cook? That's what they worry all day. But when you actually go to eat, 15 minutes, you've eaten. Yeah? So really, things like eating, bathing and everything, should do it chop chop, quickly. Don't worry too much. Because it's to do with the stomach. It's to do with the body. So we are body conscious, so all the time we are working out our body comforts, body gains and all that. Even punya, piety, if you tell people what is punya, they'll say, feeding the poor, giving money to the poor, helping this. If you look at the list, it's all bodily needs. So punya is to do with the body only. The real is, Bharat bhumi tahaila manushya janma yar janma sarthik kare kare par upkar. But upkar is welfare, the greatest welfare, and that is to make people Krishna conscious. And that's why when you go out, do Harinams, distribute books, this is the formula of ISKCON. Srila Prabhupada did it, it's most successful, it's made so many devotees. To see, you know, devotees from outside Bharat is a great joy to me, honestly. I used to be in a rock band, and I was the only Indian. And so when I went to nightclubs and everywhere, I'll be the Indian. They say, where do you get him from, you know? And I used to play Thin Lizzy, Jimi Hendrix and all that kind of stuff, you know. And long hair and everything. Then my father said to me, oh, there's some Hare Krishnas in town. I go, they shave their head and put curtains around themselves, you know. I said, and not interested. My dad told me off. And he goes, look at you, you're from Bharat. You look like a hippie. And they look like great Vaishnavas. I said, oh, okay, Dad, I'll go out. And I went there, and guess who was there? Kripamoy singing away. 17-year-old, looked very handsome. And he was playing away so beautiful. He looked like, I think, in Gauranga, like tall and shaved up. And one Irish fella, he was kind of, you know, saying, hey, do the mumbo jumbo in the jungle, you know, because they're jumping up and down. He says, Jesus died on the cross for us. What did your God do for you? So Kripamoy went to me, because, sir, so Jesus died on the cross for your sins? He goes, yes. He said, do you want him to come again? Because you're still sinning. I can smell alcohol on your breath at 11 in the morning. And I was impressed, thinking, what an answer. And this person went pale and he didn't shout anymore. So I went to the devotees on the side. I goes, what do I read? He goes, read Bhagavad Gita. I said, I read by Juan Mascaro. And it's a thin Bhagavad Gita by Penguin. I said, well, it was all right. You know, it's philosophy. He goes, you want to read this one? And you know, I took Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, just read 3 pages, went to sleep. I told my mother next day, I says, Mom, I won't be eating meat anymore. She goes, you eat like a demon. With 2 hands. Why not? I goes, I don't know. I think it's wrong, And then she said, have an egg, because mothers always worry, you need energy. I said, okay, so that was boiled egg. You know how that smells. We did that. I goes, no, Mom, I don't think so. Then I carried on reading. And Srila Prabhupada then said in the introduction that in order to see God, you should be qualified. And one of the qualifications is you be merciful and meat eating. I read afterwards and gave up eating meat. But with Penguin Bhagavad Gita, I read it all and said, it's just book of philosophy. I can philosophize as well. This is the potency of Srila Prabhupada's book. Because Srila Prabhupada is empowered personality as well. Shakti Avesha Avatar. We can't say it's Parshad because I'm not qualified to say it. But look at that. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his Parshad, and then Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta, and we got Srila Prabhupada. The link is so strong. And even then, if we feel things aren't happening, it's our fault. Make it happen. One person saw me once ago, is something wrong with ISKCON? ISKCON is this, ISKCON is that. I said, you go out and make the ISKCON the way you want it. Go on, go out and try. And he looked at me and goes, don't just sit there criticizing. Go out and make the difference then. And you know what? I've been there since 73, in different levels. I function, but I love still chanting the holy name. I love talking to devotees. I love devotee association. You know what? I never met Srila Prabhupada. Since 73 I'm involved. I was in Coventry. Send them to Coventry. And devotees would come in their tents and stay at my house. My mother would cook for them. They'd say, I have a letter saying get initiated from Srila Prabhupada, right? And I told the devotees, when can you ring? Because when Prabhupada comes next. Every time I said, where's Prabhupada? Oh, he came last week. I said, Prabhupada, you didn't ring. We didn't have mobile phones then, but we had phones. But they would get so excited, Prabhupada's there. I never got that call. And I was here when they read the telegram, Prabhupada is no more. I had tears in my eyes thinking, that's me sorted out. I'll never be able to do what Prabhupada wanted. Wrong. Prabhupada hasn't gone away anywhere. He's in the books. When Krishna left, the rishis asked, where is Krishna now? And the answer was, he's in Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not a Puran. It is Krishna himself. He left and went into the book. Prabhupada left and he's in the book. So every time I read, I know ISKCON as devotees. So I'm always optimistic when I deal with ISKCON. I'm always thinking, it's the same ISKCON. Prabhupada is in America maybe, or in Bharat or somewhere, but this is ISKCON. And I tell you, I never get depressed. I get hurt. That's different in dealings. But I think we are in one of the best movements. Srila Prabhupada is the greatest Acharya. Our lives are guaranteed a success. Don't aim at meeting Krishna, but please aim at loving Krishna. If you're going to just say, I'll meet him one day, when you don't meet him, you're going to get very upset. But you can love him now. And I have a little formula. At night time, I have my own mantra in English before I go to bed. It's a very simple one, and it works. You're going to giggle when you hear this. I just go into bed, and I say it, and I think what I've done in the day, just briefly. Then I say in English this mantra, Krishna, I love you. That's all I've been doing for a long time. Like a little girl, I just feel, my God, I love him. And I go to sleep. My wife says to me, you sleep so fast, you even can't count till 3. So I must say I love you very quickly because I'm snoring within moments. And when I get up thinking, God, the night is over. Even when I've had most difficult period, I've just gone in bed saying, Krishna, I love you. And when I get up, I sit up and say, Krishna, I love you. And I just walk off. And when I said this in Soho Street and somebody said, this is a mantra, we should repeat it. So can you repeat after me? Bolo, Krishna, I love you. How do you feel? See, everybody smiles. Every time they smile. Because you know what? It's so easy that you actually think it ain't going to work. But it does. Ask my wife when I say I love you. She's happy. And if I don't say it, she picks on it. Tell you, the wives know it. They watch you. Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course I said I love you last year, didn't I? But you forgot my wedding anniversary. Oh, I was busy at the temple. It doesn't work. You have to say, I love you. So can we learn to say those simple words, I love you, Krishna, at the end? But don't forget the Mahamantra. You ignore the Mahamantra and now say, Krishna, I love you. Well, what for? So I'm coming near the time nearly. I wasn't able to do all the shlokas, Prabhu. You told me read till 73, but I'll read one or two more. But life is quite simple for the straightforward people. It's called arjavam. One of the Brahmin qualities is arjavam, directness. And I have tried to practice that and got into trouble many, many times because I just say it. That's how I feel it. I say it. But I've started to now choose my time. When do I say what I have to say? When you say it publicly, you hurt a lot of people. So if you want to say something to somebody, just say it on the quiet. But most of the time say, Hare Krishna. How are you, Prabhuji? I've learned. We must subdue our ill feelings against other people. Lord Chaitanya would want us. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Once gopis were sitting and discussing, and one gopi said, I dreamt Krishna was on a swing. The other one dreamt he was having butter. They went round. They asked Radharani, what did you dream about? And they all waited thinking she's going to say something fantastic. She goes, dream? I didn't sleep all night. I was thinking of Krishna. She didn't have any dreams because she was thinking of Krishna. So I'm just thinking, can we from morning to evening, can we think of Sri Krishna and love him? And these deities, they're not ordinary deities. They're empowering everybody to preach. I'm still a fool, sitting in 1973. Now I'm sitting the same deities, they smile. They were my first deities I fell in love with, And every time I come back, I enjoy this darshan. They're giving their darshan. Once I said to His Holiness Krishnadas Maharaj, I saw the deity. He goes, no, don't say saw the deity. I took darshan. It means it's by their mercy you're able to take the darshan, not by your eyes. It's like you have eyes at night time when there's no light you can't see. It's by the mercy of the sun you're seeing. So it's by mercy of the Prabhupada that you're able to take darshan of these deities like that. You're able to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. You're able to read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. And we should always appreciate the hard work of the acharyas and the present leaders of ISKCON or any organization and the temple. Because you ask the leaders how much they are enjoying themselves. Zero enjoyment. Because at every moment you're working something out. How to inspire people to progress. Because this Pragati Marg is progressive religion. You don't go stagnant. So that's why reading Srila Prabhupada's books, chanting the Mahamantra, being with devotees, honoring prasadam, these are the weapons. These are the weapons, we must constantly employ. Because other avatars came, yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bhara, they came to kill, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to save. And Prabhupada said, yes, we must also kill. Kill the mentality, materialistic mentality, not physically kill anybody. So how can you kill somebody's mentality? By a smile. Somebody said very nicely, when we approach the Lord and offer a flower, it can be a very expensive flower for the Lord. Because you give one flower and you ask for a big list from Krishna. No wonder when the curtains open, Krishna says to Radharani, stay still. Otherwise they'll be asking things from us. So those beggars, when they come, they're thinking, no, I didn't enjoy the darshan But when the devotees come with love, many people have birthdays and they give an envelope in front of everybody. So everybody thinks they must have written a big check and given to them. But sometimes, some people abuse that. They give the envelope so everybody claps. There's a lovely, but inside there's a big list of, can you lend me 10,000 pounds? Instead of giving, you are. So when we approach the Lord, most of the time we are asking from Him. But we should be giving. And what can we give? Glories. We should sing glories of Acharyas, glories of Vrindavan, glories of Radharani, glories of Sri Krishna. So if you raise your hands and let's say Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. Jai Sri Radhe Bolo Gauranga Gauranga Gauranga. I apologize, there's so many verses to read and the subject matter is so interesting I haven't even touched on it. I feel so unqualified. I want to say more, wish I had more mouths and more time. And thank you for inviting me to speak. And maybe next time when I come, we can add to it. But please wish me luck. I'm going to the States. And that journey, somebody spoke to me, he goes, the devotees here are not like London devotees. I don't know what that means. So I'll find out. So I find the London devotees very, very nice. And Shruti Prabhu really gave us permission to be here at Janamastami, and we were able to do, whatever we did. And we've been invited to speak here. I'm from Coventry, and we are planning a big temple over there. Because Radharani, this is Mayapur's glory. One of our pujaris was there. First day for serving, he dressed up, Rang Manjari, and the voice came, you go and build my temple and call it Shishi Radha Pranishwar. And he doesn't speak Hindi, Sanskrit. He's born here, he's Brahmin, but he's Brahmin family. He thought, what? You go build my temple, call it Radha Pranishwar? So he looked at Lord Krishna and he goes, did the instruction come from you or did I just imagine it? And from Radha Madhav's turban, a garland fell. And when he felt that, he goes, okay, that could be a coincidence. Two things have happened. He says, now, can you engage me in your service? And because he was on the altar for the first time, I don't know if you've been on the altar, Radha Madhava Sakis, I like going there. They are life-size. And when you're bathing the gopis and Krishna, their appearance is so beautiful. And he was there, and the pujari came at that moment and says, today you do the chamra at darshan time. And he had never done it before. And when he got that chamra, he had tears in his eyes thinking, bang, 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 three things happened. You build my temple, the garland fell, and he was engaged in doing the chamra. For a whole week, he cried thinking, will anybody believe me? So he rang me from, Mayapur. I answered the phone, and he goes, I had this instruction. And I said, great, because you believe me? He goes, yes. I said, only last week I filled in a grant, and I told the person who was filling a grant, I said, ask for $500,000, let's have a new temple. So at that time, you were getting instruction there. So he was, oh, so you believe me? I goes, of course, let's do it. Then I went to Bharat as well, went touring everywhere. I went to South India, to many, many places where Lord Chaitanya went. Everywhere I prayed, I said, Lord Chaitanya, please, you got to help me. Narayan, you got to give me Lakshmi. Because I don't know anybody. And when I looked at Lakshmi Mata, I said, you're the one with the money. I'm going to start with you. Can I have some money for Radharani's temple, Radharani's palace? And all this is great because you suddenly feel, who's going to give you anything? Coventry? I mean, a small place. London is, everybody knows London. When we go to Bharat, we say we're from Coventry. He goes, is that near London? I said, one day will come, people say London. He goes, is that near Coventry? So anyway, then I came back, and when I came back, somebody had taken us to court saying, we gave you money long time ago, you didn't build an extension or temple or whatever. So we defended it, saying, look, we were very busy and all that kind of thing. So we started to look for a land, and we saw 1.25 acre land. And when I came from Bharat, straightaway, Anurag, says, oh, I made an appointment for you to see the land. I saw the big building, old type of building, court halls. And I said, I used to work for GC and Rolls-Royce. I said, I don't want to remind myself I used to work in a factory. Don't want to know. I said, if it's Greenland, it'll be good. As we walk into the car, the estate agent goes, the land next to it, which is Greenland, nothing we build on it, that's for sale as well if you want it. I goes, hey, I'm interested. Show me. He showed me the plan, went back. There's a canal on the side with ducks and everything. And there was this land. And I said, how much is that? He goes, 700,000. Otherwise, it was 2 million for the whole thing. I said, well, will they split? He goes, yeah. I said, okay. He said, I want to know by Monday. And it was Friday we were discussing. I quickly rang a few people and all that. They said, well, put in a bid. So I put in a bid there. He said 750. I said 700. So he said on Tuesday, okay, you're on. You can have it. I opened the letter. When I read that, I start to sweat. Where am I going to get 700,000? Hey, you know that feeling, Prabhus? Somebody's got your target and you think, where am I? So I thought, if I keep worrying where the money is going to come from, I'm going to fall ill. Because this is Radharani's instruction, so it's her worry, not mine. I'm employed by her. So I just thought, what all you do is give a ring to everybody saying they've accepted the 700,000. Don't mention the way we're going to get the money. So whoever I rang, they said, great, great. But the pessimist says, where are you going to get the money? I said, don't worry about that, it'll come. And I'll give you the good news. There were a few people. I said immediately, I'll give 10,000 because I retired 10 years ago. I've got only a little bit money left. I said, I'll give 10,000 to start off. Everybody's under pressure. If Haridas, who's retired, is giving 10,000, we are working. He'd expect more from us, Well, that's how you do it, And anyway, I know what I'm doing anyway. So then what happened? This one guy, he brought a brand new Range Rover. And he parked out and said, can you bless my car? I goes, hey, save some money for the temple. He said, I want to talk to you about that. I said, let's have a ride. Take me in. And Indra Maharaj had come that time. And I told him, take me to my home. And he drove it. He goes, oh, nice car and all that. He said, when shall I meet you? I said, meet me on Tuesday. So he came on Tuesday with a new car. And I said, okay, about this money. He goes, how much you giving? I said, I'll give him 10,000. And he goes, okay, I'll give 108. He goes, 108? I said, what do you mean 100? He goes, 108,000. I touched him. I goes, you're not kidding me, are you? You're not kidding me. He goes, no, 108,000. I said, wow, that's the first one. And then the estate agent rang me. He said, we're going to have a meeting. The owner wants to see the person who wants to buy it. He says, can you come? Because he wants to say, well, you're serious. I said, yeah. So we went for the meeting. I got the yes at nighttime. Went to the meeting. He goes, you know what? 700,000. You'll have to put 10% deposits, which is 70,000. I said, I got it. I got the money. He goes, oh, you have the money? I goes, just have the money. Then he says, good. It'll be yours. So I came away. And you know what? Now they got permission. They got a planning permission. There's a little problem. But we're still kind of processing. But the good thing is, I never collected 108,000 ever before from an ordinary guy. So then I decided I have to go around now, around the world. So I'm going to go to Dubai, Bharat, wherever, like a beggar, but not like a miserable beggar, as beggar for Radharani. Kinkri. Kinkri means ordinary servant. And I'm just going to make my appeal. So we did the CD, whatever. He's wearing lovely hoodies. Look how handsome he looks. Krishna Vrindavan. All this is needed for furthering the preaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the public who haven't established their love for Krishna yet. Not for us. We are happy with our simple living and high thinking. So Prabhu, thank you for listening today. If you have any quick question, and then there is some ceremony at the moment, diploma giving or something like that. Any question?